Good morning, listeners. My name is Odinaka Kingsley Eze, and I am an MA student. I'm getting my master's at the University of Mississippi, and I'm on full scholarship, fully funded, tuition paid, everything covered. I arrived here in 2021. This is my final year, and by the grace of God, next year I should be graduating. Thank you, Chinedu, for giving me this platform to explain to people how to get fully funded scholarships, especially those of them that are interested in pursuing a graduate programs in different universities. I am just going to talk about how to secure fully funded scholarships in the United States of America. I don't know more about other countries, let's say Australia, Canada, and the UK. My major focus on this video will be the United States. Now, before I start, I should make this announcement, which I think is a very good announcement. In the United States, once you apply for admission, you don't need to apply separately for scholarships. That's a good news, right? So that means that when you are applying for admissions in different universities that you're interested in, you are not obliged to put on another application for funding or for scholarship, as the case may be. So the materials that you submitted for your admission application will be used to consider you for funding. So what are the step-by-step approach that you should adopt if you're applying for scholarships? Number one, you should start by using your Google. Many people don't know the power of Google, the power of the internet, but that is where you will get most of the information that you need. I don't have all the schools in my head to start telling you one after the other. And in this kind of scenario, I am not giving one-on-one mentorship when I know your research or whatever you are interested in pursuing in a graduate program. But once you know you are going for a graduate program, it is assumed that you have a particular research area that you are interested in pursuing or you're interested in exploring, even when you are not so sure about what you want to do in the graduate program. But there should be an area of study that you're interested in your diverse disciplines, whether it be in sciences or in arts and humanities. So there is an area of study that you want to pursue. So how to start narrowing it down is you have this area that you want to specialize in. Now you go to Google and you search for schools in the United States. Search for 1,000 schools in the United States. Google will give you the list of 1,000 schools in the United States. Search for 2,000 schools in the United States. Google will give you a list of 2,000 schools in the United States, starting from the Ivy League to R1 universities to R2 universities to R3 universities. What do I mean by R1 universities? Those are just rankings. Ivy League, R1 below Ivy League, R2 below those R1 and all that. R1 universities are usually elite schools, but they are not Ivy League, but they are very difficult to get in. Now, Ivy League universities are very difficult to get in. Sometimes the percentage of people that make applications, let's say that 100 people do applications to a particular program. In Ivy League universities, they can just take maybe 2 or 3. Depending on which Ivy League university you are talking about and depending on so many other factors. Then when we talk about R1 universities, which are elite schools, they admit, like, if they have 100 applications, they might admit like 7, 8, 9, depending. And then you have R2 universities, which admit almost, 60 to 70% of applicants, right? And then you have R3 universities, which accept almost everyone that apply. So once you are going through the list of these schools, you should know whether they are elite universities, Ivy League universities, and with their categories. Is very important because that will help you to determine which university that you best qualify to make applications, so that you don't just make blind applications. Now, once you've identified the school, you can make a combination of lists from the R1 universities, the Ivy League universities, depending on your capacity. your capacity, you know your educational qualification, you know whether you graduated with a first class or with a second class or with a third class, you know whether you've had a publications. These are all the things that makes you strong applicants, right? So you know how strong you are. How strong you are will determine which school you apply to, whether you apply to Ivy League University, which is highly competitive, or you apply to R1 universities, which are also early schools, very competitive as well, or you will apply to R2 and R3 universities. One thing to note is that none of these universities are, bigger than the others, so to say. But then, these rankings are based on, also based on programs. So you may end up getting a program in a R3 university that performs better than the same program in an Ivy League university. So they are very arbitrary. So don't think that because you're going to R2 or R3 universities, that means that you're not going to a good university. No, I can assure you that those universities are better than the universities you have back in Nigeria, which is highly competitive, or you apply to R1 universities, which are also early schools, very competitive as well, or you will apply to R2 and R3 universities. One thing to note is that none of these universities are, bigger than the others, so to say. But then, these rankings are based on, also based on programs. So you may end up getting a program in a R3 university that performs better than the same program in an Ivy League university. So they are very arbitrary. So don't think that because you're going to R2 or R3 universities, that means that you're not going to a good university. No, I can assure you that those universities are better than the universities you have back in Nigeria. So once you have determined the schools that you want to apply to, the next thing you need to do is to go to their graduate program, right? Go to their graduate programs, see the programs that they have. Do they have the program that you want to apply to? Once they have those programs you want to apply to, go to the specific departments. Go to your department, check maybe chemistry, history, biology, pharmacy, engineering, computer, whatever. Check the department. And then once you are scrolling through the department, you are confused on the website, you don't know what to do, go check the left corner or down the page of the website. You will see the name of the graduate coordinator. That person is there to answer your question, the graduate coordinator. The email is always there. Write the person an email explaining your making a case, or asking a question, or expressing your confusion, or asking for direction on how to go about in your application. Once you contact the graduate coordinator, there are 99% chances that they will reply, because that is their job. However, if you don't have any question, you can keep navigating the website. And where do you go? You go to the faculty. After you've read about the department and it's looking like the department is suitable for you, they are doing the kind of research you want to pursue, you like their statement of mission and all that, then you start looking at their faculty, because they will not admit you if they don't have faculty that are ready to work with you. That's how it works, right? So you look at their faculty meticulously. You look at them one after the other, looking at what you're looking for is one, a faculty member whose research interest aligns with yours, right? Once you have this faculty member whose research interest aligns with yours, write the person's name down. You can get up to 3 or 4 persons who are related. They might not be working in Nigeria or Africa or whatever, but their research is related to what you are already thinking about. Now, write down their names and their emails. If it's possible, look at their publications. Look at the works they've done. Look at the works that they are currently doing. That is important. And then you can shoot them an email. Shoot them an email asking for the possibility of them being your supervisor or your advisor. Ask. Now, there is no bad thing. In fact, it is always advisable that you send that email. Now, many of them will reply you, many of them will not reply you, but this is a very important step. Send that email to that professor who you have identified. Now, you can do this to up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 10 schools, depending on your capacity, depending on if you have the capacity to make all the applications, including the financial requirements. I'm not meant to talk about the admission process here. Now, once you have shot them an email. The next thing is for you to make an application. Apply. Like I said before, you don't need a separate application for scholarship. Apply for that specific program, and that's all you need to do. Wait for admission. Mostly admission comes with funding packages, right? In some cases, this does not happen, but in most cases, in 95% cases, many US schools will not give you admission without scholarship. If they will not be able to support your graduate program, they will tell you from the beginning that they don't have funding, so that you know what you are up against. It's not like the UK or Canada where many of their graduate program, they expect you to fund it. Here, they don't expect you to fund it because you'll be working. They have different programs through which they fund graduate programs. Number one, they have fellowships, they have teaching assistantship. Now, they have research assistantship. Now, when you have research assistantship, you are working with a professor on a particular research, and that is how they will be paying your tuition, and then they will pay you what they call stipend. That's how the scholarship works. They have what they call fellowship, which is you're not doing anything, but you are maybe a Benjamin Franklin fellowship. That's the kind of scholarship that they give for you to maybe determine by the scholarship board. You can attend a meeting or leadership meeting, or depending, but they will support your graduate program. Then they have teaching assistantship, which is you will be assisting professors in teaching, either in their labs or in their classes, or you may be the person teaching, graduate instructor, right? Not graduate assistant. So these are the ways they fund your graduate program, and each of these ways comes with scholarship and stipend. Now, if you have any question, please write it down, but this is step-by-step way that you can secure admission and at the same time secure scholarship in United States-based universities. Thank you for listening.